Hi, good morning, everyone. Today is 15th of June, 2024. We are having this session on a very important topic of POCSO. We have Dr. Alka Kuthe. She's a consultant obstetrician, gynecologist practicing at Kuthe Accidental Hospital and Maternity Nursing Home in Amravati for 25 years. She runs an ultrasound clinic. She's LLM from Criminology and PG DIP Human Rights Education. She's a chairman for IMA MS Medico-legal cell for 23-24. She works for the betterment of the society, especially for the mother and child and working women rights. She raised legal awareness among women and children. She helped colleagues for medical legal issues. She's a regular visitor to tribal areas for such awareness. Ma'am, over to you.
So good morning all. Thank you, Dr. Rakesh and team. It's a very lucky moment for me because I will be sharing my thoughts and my PPT with all the international I can say, because they are themselves doing some good work for the Nishita and
There's some problem with your voice.
okay. So what I will do for some time, I will switch off my video and I will share my PPT.
Absolutely, perfect.
So good morning all. The topic today given to me is very important topic for we all, because we know nowadays a lot of challenges for the adolescent group of rather girls and boys. What was yesterday when we were adolescents is totally different scenario in the present era. So we must make our adolescents and of course our community adolescent friendly, and also know the laws that governs adolescent health. The topic given to me today is POCSO Act 2012, that is Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. Without wasting my time, I would like to share my PPT. Is it slideshow? You can see?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. You just need to maximize it. Yeah, perfect.
So I bring greetings for all of you from India and from Maharashtra, part of India, a state of India. The topic today given to me is POCSO Act, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. So I welcome you all, and again thank you all for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts. India is home to the largest percentage of children in the world, out of which around 42% are children below 18 years. So such a huge population below 18 years, 42%. And one of the biggest evils the country is battling is child sexual abuse. And we know children are the softest targets. Any type of sexual abuse is possible. Again, since 2007, as per the National Crime Reports Bureau, we see increase in cases of reporting of crimes against children, those child sexual abuse cases. So that's a positive signal. That means now the adolescents and their parents are not afraid of the complex, inferiority complex, or ashamed of. So they come forward and report the crime. That's a good sign. It's not moving, Dr. Rakesh.
No, ma'am, we can just see the same slide.
Yeah.
You need to click the slide to move it forward.
I'm doing that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So again, the violence against children in India, what statistics tells us? 1 out of every 10 women reported some kind of child sexual abuse during childhood, chiefly by known persons. So they are known persons. 1 out of 4 girls and 1 in every 7 boys is sexually abused across the world. This is as per the WHO statistics, World Health Organization. More than 50% of children had some sort of sexual abuse as per the 2007 survey. And usually the sexual abuse is from a person known to the victim and a child especially above 5 years. You can see the figure that shows age-wise sexual abuse. It goes on increases as the age advances. There are approximately 2 million child commercial sex workers between the age of 5 to 15 years and around 3.3 million between 15 to 18 years. They form around 40% of the total population of the commercial sex workers in India. Such a huge population, 40%, they form around 40% of the whole commercial sex workers in India. Around 5 lakh children are forced into this trade every year. 70% of them are illiterate. So illiteracy is also one of the causes. 80% of these are found in the 5 metro cities in India, the capital cities of India. Why one child is more susceptible than other? There are many causes for this. Child having some disabilities. Child living in huts or slum areas without any security or in lower socioeconomic groups. Child with low confidence or no education at all. Teens who are having doubtful sexuality. Children in maladjusted families. There's some quarrels going within the family with domestic violence, of course. Children who lack of love, who face lack of love and protection in their families. Orphans and isolated children, children of the beggars, children of laborers. These are the children who are more susceptible than others for any kind of sexual abuse. In India, there are many laws that govern sexual abuse. Rather, we can say harassment, abuse, assault, all these things. Indian Penal Code is a very old law in 1860. Juvenile Justice Care Act, JJ Act 2000. Information Technology Act 2000. Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. There is special Kerala State Police Act in 2012. And this is Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. We know there are many IPC, like Indian Penal Code sections that take care of this rape, kidnapping, molestation, sexual harassment. But we know IPC, like Indian Penal Code, they have to deal with many other crimes. So, looking at the sensitivity of this particular age group below 18 years, Indian government formulated POCSO Act, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, which was enacted in June 2012. So same month, this month only, but in 2012. The act was enacted specially to address the problem of child sexual abuse through less ambiguous and more stringent legal provisions. This is POCSO Act. The misnomer is POSCO. It's not POSCO, but it's a POCSO Act. Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. Why POCSO? Why there was need of POCSO? Just now we witnessed many statistics by WHO, by our own India, our country. We know that healthy physical, emotional, intellectual, and social development is very important for all-round development of the child. Also, India had considered to UN Convention on Child Rights in 1992. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, that is NCPCR, has been given authority to see or to monitor implementation of the Act. That was the reason why POCSO was enacted. We know that it is very, we can say victim-friendly Act, child-friendly Act. There are many special features given to this Act, or the Act has many special features for the victimized child, whether male or female. The preamble of the Act, that we can say the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, covers sexual assault, sexual harassment, pornography, again aggravated sexual assault, aggravated sexual harassment, pornography. The premises of the Act are, of course, Article 15 of the our Supreme Indian Constitution, UNCRC, that is Convention for Child Rights, 1989 and 1992. It covers the rights of children by all means and in all stages of the judicial process involving children. So the judicial process is also child-friendly. It upholds the rights of the children. The Protection of Child from Sexual Offences Act 2012 was notified in the Gazette of India on 20th of June 2012. The salient features of the Act are, as per this Act, the child is defined as any person below the age of 18 years, as per the Section 2D of the Act. So it has clear definition and description of offense. Penetrative sexual assault, Section 3, sexual assault, Section 7, sexual harassment, Section 11, and use of child for pornographic purposes. All these things are covered by this Act. There are POCSO rules in 2012 that those were notified on 4th November 2012, exactly 5 months after the main Act. These are the rules which provide for qualification and experience of interpreters, translators, special educators, and experts. It takes care and protection, emergency medical treatment, compensation for relief and rehabilitation of the abused child. It gives manner of periodic monitoring of the Act and the rules. So these are very important. POCSO Amendment Act was there in 2015 because the government saw that in spite of the regulation, there were increase in the cases or other cases notified were on rising trend. So again, amendment was made in 2015. Juvenile Justice Care Act, there is some difference between JJ Act and POCSO Act. JJ Act ensures safety, security, dignity, and well-being of children, while POCSO Act is a comprehensive legislation. It provides protection to children from the offences of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and aggravated from all these two: aggravated sexual assault, aggravated sexual harassment, and child pornography. There are certain salient features of this POCSO Act. It is the victim-friendly Act, gender neutral. It covers both boys as well as girls. It protects child from both physical as well as non-physical contact forms of abuse. Child is given police protection during the investigation procedure. This is also very important. The child can avail emergency medical treatment even if it is not informed to police, but the doctor has to treat emergency while at the same time informing to the police, regional police station. It avoids re-victimization of the child. This is also very important. Otherwise, what will happen? Again, the child will get re-victimized during trial. It has provided special court to decide compensation for the child. The district session court has been given the authority to conduct the trial. The child can be testified through video link so as to reduce the trauma out of repeated narration and again presence in the court in front of all the other people. It gets support from Child Welfare Committee, support to the family, support to the child. The sexual abuse case should be disposed within 1 year of reporting. The Act mentions this, but it is hardly exercised. It takes many years because of lack of evidence, because of lack of the evidence witness and all those things. The full trial takes more than 1 year sometimes. But the Act maintains confidentiality of the victim by media, by doctor, by any person in the society. To what extent doctor and a person in the community, they have certain role. So we must know our role. Compulsory reporting by anyone, not only by doctor, but anyone in the community who comes to know that child is getting abused or who just they are afraid of that child will get abused. Even if slightest suspicion, they have to report to the regional police station. Examination of victim to be done by doctor. And there are, of course, certain controversies as regards MTP Act and POCSO Act. Mandatory reporting, just I told that this is mandatory for anybody, any person in the society, and of course by doctor and paramedical staff. So even if teacher comes to know that child is getting sexually abused, or the child tells the teacher that he was abused sexually, the teacher must inform to the police station. It is mandatory for all persons to report cases of sexual offences against children under Section 91 of the POCSO Act to the local police station, or there is some places there are special juvenile police units. They need to be informed. It is not mandatory on all persons to report the cases of rape against adult person or sexual violence against adult person if the survivor is adult. However, we hospitals or the doctors are obliged to inform the police of such incidents if the adult girls comes to us as per the section 357 CRPC. Because if she comes to us with the reporting, rather with the complaint that she is raped, then we must inform, even though she is adult, because she has come to us with a complaint. When and how do I report an offense? This is a question for all of us. Section 19 says reporting of the offenses, any person, including the child, who has apprehension that an offense under this act is likely to be committed or has knowledge that such an offense has been committed, he or she must provide such information to the special juvenile police unit as per the act or the local regional police station. Failure in reporting of cases, of course, it is punishable with imprisonment of 6 months or with fine or with both. Failure to record an offense by police person is punishable with imprisonment of 6 months or with fine or both. Failure to report by person who is in charge of any company or an institution in respect of the offense committed by subordinate under his custody, he must report. So, in charge of the hostel, warden person, in charge of the the community or outsource group is there who takes care of the children or group of male and female children below 18 years, they must inform. Otherwise, they are punishable with imprisonment of 1 year and fine. If at all this was false complaint with some fraudulent or malafide intention, then it is punishable with imprisonment of 6 months or with fine or both. False complaints against child, punishable with imprisonment of 1 year or with fine or with both. No civil or criminal liability for giving information in good faith. Suppose we come to know that there is some crime or sexual abuse and we are informing with good faith, not with any malafide or malicious intent, then it is protected by section 19(7). There are different countries. I know there are many countries, delegates or faculties from different countries who are logged in today. I just went through the statistics and the countries. Malaysia, there is also one act called SOAC Act 2017, making, producing, directing the making of production of child pornography. Again, there is imprisonment, maximum 3 years and minimum 6 strokes of whipping. There's a punishment in the terms of whipping. Failure to make police report about sexual crime against children. Again, it is an offense, section 19, max fine RM 5,000. It's the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children in Malaysia. Pakistan also has some imprisonment, public hanging of convicted child killers and rapists. Bangladesh also has policy in 2011. Again, there is some 2002 and 2003 Child Care Act that takes care of sexual abuse, but it does not take care of married girls below 18 years. If they are unmarried, it's taken care of. Probably Bangladesh people can clarify this. Sri Lanka, there is some national child protection policy in 2012. There is a law to protect children from all forms of sexual offences and provide establishment of special courts, just like India, for trial. Article 19 requires Sri Lanka as a signatory to the Child Rights Convention to take all possible measures to protect the child. So this is the Sri Lanka Article 19 that takes care of child. There is certain role of state governments. There is a distribution of sessions court in each district as special court under the act for the trial. There is an appointment of special public prosecutor, establishment of special juvenile police units, child welfare committees and district child protection unit as guided by this POCSO Act. So there is certain role given to state governments. They formulate scheme for payment of compensation. They prepare guidelines for support professionals like doctors, NGOs, etc. They give some publicity material and awareness creation material. They give training to the police officers and other concerned persons. They set up state level some monitoring agency, child rights monitoring and taking care committees for monitoring and implementation of the act. Again, there are offences and punishment given to different offences. Just you can go through the slide. There is imprisonment and fine, sometimes fine and both, of course, imprisonment up to 5 years. In some fine, In some offences, imprisonment up to 7 years. Rigorous imprisonment as per section 10 for not less than 10 years. It may extend to imprisonment for life and also liable to fine. So there are different sections that give punishment to the offenders. There are other offences and punishments for the offences like child use for pornography purposes, child for pornography purposes after having been convicted previously for same offence. So this is repeat offences by the same offender. So the imprisonment is increased up to 7 years, from 5 years to 7 years. Storing for commercial purposes any pornographic material in any form involving a child, up to 3 years imprisonment, fine, or both. Again, attempt is also punishable. So attempting to commit any offense under this act, as per the section 18, 1/2 of the longest term of imprisonment provided for that particular offense with fine and may extend to 1/2 of the imprisonment for life. So attempt is also punishable. So one cannot say that I have just attempted, but it didn't take place. So attempt is also punishable as per the provisions of the sections of the act. Abatement and attempt, again specially covered in this slide. Abatement treated with the same severity, gravity, same seriousness as commission of that offense. Trafficking of children for sexual purposes covered under abatement. So in many countries, we know the children are trafficked, sold. Again, they are used for sexual purpose. Child labor also going on. So this happen in many countries. Attempt to commit an offense penalized for up to half of the punishment prescribed for that offense. So abatement and attempt both are punishable. It is said by Fredla Adler, American criminologist. Rape is the only crime in which the victim becomes accused. Very true. Whether the crime is the victimized crime, child is below 18 years or above 18 years. The delay in giving justice makes as if the victim is accused. There are certain directions given to the media as far as secrecy is concerned. Media not to disclose the identity of the child except when permitted by the special court, as per the section 23 of the Act. Identity includes everything: name, address, photograph, family details, everything regarding the child. Media should not disclose. So if at all media discloses without permission, then again imprisonment for the not less than 6 months, which may extend to 1 year. So media has to take care that they should not disclose anything regarding this victimized child. There are certain procedures regarding recording statement of the child. These are the child-friendly procedures as per the section 24 of the Act. Recording can be done at the residence of the child. Recording by officer not below the rank of PSI, that is Sub-Inspector of Police. Police officer should not wear uniform, so he should come in simple usual dress. She should not be in uniform. Child not to come in contact with the accused, very important. Otherwise, the child may not reveal what has happened with him or with her. So accused person should not be in front of the child when the child is giving statement. Child not to be detained in police station during night. So there are child welfare committees. There are certain arrangement made for this victimized child where the child is given protection so that the child is not victimized, re-victimized, and again the child is not detained in police station during night hours. Recording of the statement of the child in the presence of parents or any other person in whom the child has trust and confidence. So child alone is not given statement. Statement is not taken by the from the child when the child is alone, but the parents or any person should be there when the statement of the child is taken. Assistance of transmitter, interpreter, special educator, as the case may be, is given as per the section 26(2). Wherever possible, recording also by audio, video, electronic means. Sometimes the child may not tell what has happened with her. So there are translators, interpreters who can give clear idea to the doctor. Recording of statement by magistrate. This is very important as per the section 164 of CRPC and as per the section 25. CRPC means Criminal Procedure Code and section 25 of the Act. Subsection 1 of section 164 CRPC shall not apply in some rare cases, and statement should be as spoken by child because that only can give clear picture. When the child cannot speak, then only the help of the parents can be taken or guardians can be taken, or if the person and the child is not able to communicate properly, then help of the translator or interpreter can be taken. In case of the girl child, medical examination should be by lady doctor as per the POCSO Act. But in special circumstances, female doctor is not available, then with the consent and presence of female guardian, male doctor can examine the child. This is as per the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Guidelines, Government of India, 2014. A trusted chaperone can be present along with male doctor, but police person should not be there when the statement of the child is taken by the doctor, male or female. Of course, male if the lady doctor is not there when examining the girl child. Medical examination in the presence of parents or any person whom the child trusts should be present throughout the examination. In case parent of the child is absent or such person not available, then it's a duty of the hospital to provide a person who is trustworthy so that secrecy is maintained. Examination under anesthesia, if examination cannot be done because of the injury to the genitals or trauma to the child or the serious type of injuries are present on the child's body, then anesthesia can be taken in the best interest, help of the anesthetist can be taken in the best interest of survival. Role of medical expert under the Act, section 27, it says it should be done as early as possible, not later than 24 hours of receiving information. It should be as early as possible so that the evidence or the collection of the evidence will be positive if there is a such abuse. So the evidence can be very trustworthy, or rather we can say the whatever evidence the doctor will collect, they can express that such abuse was there. So arrange to take such child to the nearest hospital or medical care facility center for emergency medical care should be done by the police officer or the members of the child welfare committee. Emergency medical care must be given to the child. Other person who is present with the child has trust and confidence, the signature of the person can be taken. But emergency medical care should be given to the child without waiting for police person to arrive there, because emergency care is very important to save the life of the child. At the same time, you have to inform to the regional police station. The police will come, but at the same time, priority is giving emergency medical care. No medical practitioner, hospital, or other medical facility center rendering the emergency medical care to the child shall demand any legal or magisterial or other documentation as a prerequisite to rendering such care. So don't wait for the document from the magistrate or police. Start emergency medical care then and that time only. There was recent amendment in CRPC. As per the section 357 CRPC, that is Criminal Procedure Code, all hospitals, public or private, shall have to immediately provide the first aid or medical treatment free of cost to the victims of any offense covered under section 376. So the care has to be given free of cost. Whatever care, emergency care should be free of cost. Those who contravene shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 year or with fine or with both. So emergency medical care as per the section 357 CRPC, 357C CRPC should be free. Emergency medical care for cuts, bruises, for exposure to sexually transmitted infection, HIV, treatment for exposure to that virus, HIV virus, and of course, genital injuries or injuries on any other body parts. Possible pregnancy and emergency contraceptive should be discussed with the child and her parent or any other person in whom the child has trust and confidence. So, pregnancy, if at all we suspect, we can give emergency contraceptives to the child. Whenever necessary, a referral or consultation for mental or psychological health or other counseling should be done, because psychological health or mental health is very important. Child is under mental trauma, this depressed condition of the child, or maybe some that the child may not speak at all. So proper psychological health care should be taken, mental health person should be taken so that the child can speak. Forensic evidence should be collected in the course of rendering emergency medical care and must be collected in accordance with section 27 of the Act. Doctors and support medical staff are involved both at the time of rendering emergency medical care as well as at the time of medical examination. So emergency care must be there. At the same time, collection of evidence, all these things, doctors and staff are involved. POCSO Act amendments were there in 2018. The punishment which is higher between the POCSO Act and the IPC will apply to the rape of minors. So whatever punishment, the highest punishment will be given as per the amendment in 2018. Again, there was bill, POCSO amendment bill in 2019. It gives more punishment for the serious crime like penetrative sexual assault. It increases the minimum punishment from 7 to 10 years. If person commits such assault on a child below the age of 16 years, imprisonment for 20 years applied and with fine. So these are the increased punishment as per the amendments in POCSO Act 2018 and again POCSO Amendment Bill 2019. They are the serious type of crimes. So naturally there is increasing punishment. There are many challenges for POCSO Act implementation, like consent has to be taken from the child. Sometimes the child's consent because the child is 18 years is not valid. But again, gray area between 16 to 18 years. Sometimes child doesn't want to give consent or doesn't want to get examined because child consent has got no value as per the POCSO Act. Consent below 18 years has got no value as per the POCSO Act because the child is minor. But sometimes parents are ready to get the child examined, but the child is not ready. So there is again controversies what to do because child doesn't give cooperation at all. Medical examination should be done by a female doctor in case of female child. But sometimes female doctor is not available. So a lot of time is wasted to wait for female doctor, but the male doctor has to conduct the examination in the presence of female person or the chaperone can be there with the medical doctor, male doctor. Treatment cost, the government says give free of cost emergency treatment, but sometimes it can be costly. So it becomes difficult for private doctors. But if not done, again there is a fine for these doctors who take money for emergency treatment, though it is costly. Sexual intercourse sometimes can be by mutual consent. Sometimes the female child is between 16 to 18 years. She gives consent, but as per the POCSO Act, the consent is invalid because the girl is below 18 years. So again, there is many controversies. The consent of the child also taken in between 16 to 18 years, and again the consent of the parents or the guardians need to be taken, always taken. Child marriage, in spite of the Marriage Act, the marriage below 18 years is invalid. But again, in some tribal areas, child marriage do take place below 18 years, of a female is below 18 years. And there is a pregnancy out of marriage. But because it is below, the child is below 18 years, again the POCSO Act applies. And there are not many controversies as regards child marriage. Awareness education still not there amongst doctor community, amongst the community people, amongst the police person, health workers. So we need to make them aware, educate police person, our doctor people, staff, and again the societal people regarding stringent provisions of this POCSO Act. Special mental health care is needed. So for that matter, again, presence of psychiatrists or mental health specialists is needed. Reporting mandatory, but sometimes nowadays we find reporting increased rate of reporting because of the awareness, but still because of the social taboos, because they are afraid of the stigmas, sometimes reporting is not done in spite of repeated awareness programs. So all these are challenges for those who want to follow the POCSO Act sections. So the take-home message for this special act, rather special presentation, the POCSO Act is gender neutral, applies to both male and female below 18 years. Attempt as well as abatement to the crime is punishable. Mandatory reporting is there must for doctors as well as any person in the community who comes to know or there is slightest apprehension that the child has been committed or will be committed. This must be mandatory. They must be reporting to the police station. Penalty for default in reporting. Examination and treatment to the victim must be there. Must be given by the doctor and free of cost if the emergency treatment to be given to the victimized child. There are many controversies as regards MTP and POCSO Act regarding secrecy, regarding reporting, regarding consent of the child and guardians, regarding many things. So again, many things to be done. Many revolutionary efforts should be there from our part and from, of course, the government, so as to implement the Child Welfare Act in a very meticulous manner. So it is again last slide. Let's together work for a society where women or the children can live without fear or any kind of violence. So this is the request for you all, and of course we all. So then let us work together for the welfare of the child, for the welfare of the woman child, male child, of course, for the strict implementation of the POCSO Act. So thou shalt not be a victim, thou shalt not be a perpetrator, but above all, thou shalt not be a bystander, as per the Yehuda, this wonderful statement made by Yehuda Babar. So we should not just bystander, be there as a bystander. We must inform, because tomorrow it can be anybody's turn. So better take the help of the provisions of the POCSO Act, inform to the regional police station, and help the government, help the police station to give justice to the male or female child below 18 years. So thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you, Dr. Rakesh, Dr. Nishita, Dr. RJCPT. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. And I think this is a very important topic. So, okay. Yeah. So we have Dr. Akhtar Hussain, and we have Dr. Sajjad from Pakistan. This is a little more topic towards the Indian side of it. So do we have any questions on the floor?
So good morning, all doctors who have joined from different countries. Good morning, delegates. I welcome you all. This is a special webinar for the justice to the affected child, victimized child, male or female.
Okay, Saurabh, can I? Hello,
Yes,
everybody.
Hello. Good.
I'm sorry I have joined late, but whatever I heard the presentation of Dr. Alka, it was very excellent. And I would just like to know that in India, is there any effective law of India for child violence, against the child violence? Is there any law in India?
Yeah, actually, there are many acts for child welfare. I think there are 2-3 slides focus on this, like Juvenile Justice Care Act. Kerala is a state in India. Kerala Police Act, Right to Information Act. So there are many acts, IPC section, CRPC sections. They are there, but these are the they cover not only child but adult population as well. So the India decided to attack this. Rather, this is very sensitive issue. Child, male or female, below 18 years, and sexual
Yes.
abuse with the child. So POCSO Act is a special act for the children below 18 years. Though it is covered under IPC sections, CRPC sections, the POCSO Act is specially designed, specially enacted for a child below 18 years.
Okay, in Pakistan we have so many laws against child violence, against the women violence. But the unfortunate thing is that we don't have the implementation. Rather, it's very unfortunate. So because of that, the violence is increasing day by day. I don't know. Is it true? Is it same in India? I think.
Yeah, actually, exactly what you have said is a cosmopolitan in occurrence. But you know, because of the constant hammering and training program in the community for the doctors and of course for police people, the reporting there is a tremendous increasing reporting of the crime. Previously, it was underreported, but now the people are coming. The child is coming. The teachers are coming. They are reporting to the regional police station. Sometimes they are bringing the child to us. Then we help them to go to the regional police station and report the crime. Because unless and until they come forward, what's the use of act? It will be just like the act is enacted without any implementation. So the people in the society, anybody in the society, not only doctor, not only paramedical workers, all have to inform. So the people in India, they are aware, that much aware nowadays. They come to, they bring child to us. They bring child and take the child to the police station. So the implementation is lacking. Of course, it is not that 100% implementation is not possible, but the people are trying, because The shame, what was initially built, taboos and like shame, it was like there is some, rather it is imperative, creating imperative complex. The child will be responsible for that offense. It was created in the long back era. But now they come to know that it's not her or his fault. It is the fault by the offender, or rather the misconduct by the offender. And that's why they are coming forward to get justice. I'm gynecologist. I go many times to the court as an expert witness. During COVID times in India, every day we used to examine 4 girls. I belong to district hospital for women. So I used to examine 4 girls, and each girl used to take around 2 hours for examination. I have seen girl child 2.5 years old. She got sexually abused by so-called uncle. So all these things occur everywhere in every country. But because when there is increase in awareness, the reporting percentage definitely has increased since 2007, as per the National Bureau reports.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If the guardians or if somebody knows about it and they don't report it deliberately because of the fear or something, is there any section or any crime against them if they're not reporting?
Once upon a time, can I share one story? If
Sure.
there is no question. Once upon a time, I was on duty. I was on emergency call, gynec emergency call. The parents brought her, the female child. She was around 4.5 years old. The parents told me at midnight, it was around 1 a.m. Parents told that the child had a fall. And there was some injury to the genital or penile area. And the child was not allowing us to touch also. You can understand, 4 years child, female child. So we took consent of the parents, gave anesthesia, and suture the area. But it was such a torn area, vaginal or intratus area. But at the same time, I thought, why the child should fall at 1 a.m.? So that's right, a suspicion. I informed to the regional police station. Police came and took statement of the parents, of course, because the child could not talk because of the fear. But after 2 years, it was during COVID era, 2 years back, 2.5 years back. Then I went as a witness, expert witness for the same child. The child is now 6 years old. But look at the attitude. The police person first said, why you have brought at 1 a.m. that reporting paper? I said, no, I'm going to email. You have to accept the paper. This is my attendant said like that. Then they had to accept the paper. They came to hospital next day morning, took the statement of the parents. And I had to go for witness, expert witness, because I had examined the child. And we stitched the injury by giving anesthesia because the child was not allowed to touch. So it happens where to have some corner of the mind that this slightest suspicion that there can be sexual abuse. We must think of reporting to the. It is out of good belief, good trust, rather out of faith that there can be. So malafide intention should not be there. But if we think that there can be sexual abuse, we must report to the regional police station.
Okay, ma'am. I don't think we have any other question on the floor. Is anybody?
Yeah,
wants
good
to
morning, Sarab. This
Good
is
morning,
Dr.
Dr.
Akhtar.
Akhtar.
Yeah,
Welcome.
how are you?
Very good, doctor.
Thank you
Dr.
so
Akhtar is from
much,
South Africa.
Dr. Anka. I am Durban in South Africa. In our scenario, medical cases go to a special, we have a special unit called crisis center in each city, each town, and they got a specific mini police station next to it. And the designated doctors, they look after all these cases of rape, assault, and the police is on the spot. So then after examination, what we do, we put them in a comfort area, and then we involve with a clinical psychologist, psychiatrist, and it's a multidisciplinary team. The problem is if these babies or these children examined by casualty or emergency area, those doctors are always on duty or off duty, and the court case take whole day to go and give evidence. So all they try to avoid. That's the reason we have created a crisis center designated for rape victims examination. Is it the same you doing, Doc?
Yes, a
Thank
very
you.
nice idea, sir, because we know the government OPDs, they are so much crowded. And at one place we examine the child, and another corner, the ANC examination, antenatal case examination is going on. So what about secrecy? So all these things are very important and it's very good. Sir, which country do you belong?
Durban, South Africa. South Africa.
Yeah, nice one, nice provision, because the child is taken care of, privacy is also maintained, and because the time allotted to the child is very precious time. So this is nice provision. We have in our country like special police unit, juvenile police unit at some places. Again, child welfare committees are there, but child welfare committees are for just keeping the child during night hours till they are brought for some MTP. We are going to conduct MTP. Until then, till that time, she's kept in that house under care, of course. But the witness taking and statement taking and everything, rather history taking, we have to conduct in our hospital only. There is no special crisis center, what we are telling. But of course, it is a good welcome idea. Every country should think of on this issue, because that will give special focus on these children, because they are really afraid of their face. You can see, just they can't speak a single word. We have to counsel them, give some empathy, have some psychiatric care, help with us, and then only taken into confidence, then the child starts speaking. So what you told is correct. There's some crisis center should be there, like one-stop center we provide for some adult women, but this center should be for like taking a statement or taking history of the child. Nice idea, sir. Nice concept.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The statement over here, see in the comments, it says according to WHO, approximately 1 out of 4 girls and 1 out of 13 boys experience a sexual abuse with the age of 18 and below. The major problem these people are facing is underreporting. People don't report such incidents, and that is why legal actions cannot be taken.
Correct. So what we discussed, this underreporting is there, but of course, since 2007, as per our National Bureau, this increasing reporting. The reason I told, because they are coming forward, alarming increase. They are coming forward because now they are not ashamed of. They think that they should get justice now. So they have become strong and bold. They are coming forward to report to the police station.
Okay. So, ma'am, we will close the session. Would you like to give a take-home message before we can close the session, just for our viewers who are online?
Yeah. So once again, thank you, Dr. Rakesh and Dr. Nishita. We are medical professional Nishita, because you are with us continuously. And the take-home message will be: POCSO Act is very stringent act. There can be similar act in your own country. So we must strictly follow the sections or provisions of the child protection or child sexual abuse protection laws, so that no child becomes victimized, whether male or female. At the same time, we should help 100%. We should offer 100% help to the government while implementation of the act. We should not say, no, the child has come to me, why me every time? Why I should go for expert witness? But it is our duty, rather noble duty, because we are medical professional. For doctors, we must, because we belong to noble profession, we must examine the child and we take all the possible evidence so that the child gets
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for enlightening us for such a very important topic, and it's a need of hour. So I thank you for your time on this platform. And with this note, we will end the session. And thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank you.